You're about to learn how to design and build a high-converting landing page using AI and no-code tools, even if you have never built a website before. So, to build this landing page, we'll follow 8 steps. Step 1, we'll define our website goal. Step 2, we'll analyze competitor landing pages to understand what works and what doesn't. Step 3, we'll use Relume AI to generate the site structure. Step 4, we'll gather design references for each section of the site. Step 5, we start designing the pages. Step 6, we'll build it in Framer with no code. Step 7, we'll test and fix any bugs. And Step 8, we'll publish the website live. This is episode 5 of From ID to Brand. Let's get into it.
Hey everyone, so we built our complete MVP in last episode, and to launch it we need to build momentum and validate demand. And for that we need a waiting list landing page. Our goal is very simple: build a website to collect mails for waiting list. And if you want to build a different type of landing page, no worries, this video will be helpful as process stays the same for different kinds of landing pages. To start off, you might be thinking, why do we actually need it? We need it because we want to validate demand before launch. And the second thing is we want to build an audience of early adopters. And then we want to showcase traction to investors, that we have 1,000 people in waiting. And we will create urgency and FOMO and get feedback from the early users and to improve our website, our app, our product. So how do we measure this? There's 3 metrics which I track. First, primary, like how many signups you get. Let's say we aim for 500 emails for the first 30 days. Secondary is like how many investors like. Second is that 30% conversion rate. So how many people lands on your website and then signs up. And the last one is like how can you reduce the bounce rate? How many people stay longer on your website? Next up is like what we are trying to build. So we are trying to build a single landing page. So we want to explain what Romely is, show the value proposition, capture email addresses, create excitement for the launch, and look professional and trustworthy. And there could be different examples of website you can look over. For now, I have picked Superhuman, Notion, and Linear. So let's go them one by one. If you check Superhuman website, I love it out of all of them. Why? Because of the look and feel of it. So it is easier to just sign up. They are showing companies who use Superhuman day to day. Then we have their products in action. Then we have a simple announcement, and yeah, again a CTA and a footer. Very simple website, but definitely very effective. And if we go to Linear, same pattern. See, hero section, companies or customers, then talk about what you can provide. And then all the strong foundations they have, like the achievement they have got so far. And yeah, a CTA and a footer, simple stuff again. And now on Notion, we have the same. You have a hero section, then you talk about the companies, then you talk about the features. Then you have CTA at the end, and then you have footer. And that's how you analyze your competitors or website you want to take reference and learn from them for your own website. And now we know these are the core sections. If you have noticed, this is the website structure we have found for all of them. You have a hero section, you have use cases, and you have CTA, and you have footer. You can expand these sections, like let's say on Notion and Linear this was a bit long. On Superhuman it was crisp. So that's you can like literally play with it, but mostly the structure stays the same for all the website. And what we learn from this is that the patterns are simple. Clear headline, like what is this product? Compelling subheadline, why should you care? Email, like simple, like capture form. And then you have product preview and benefits, features, and then you show some social proof, and final CTA. Now we know the patterns of the website and the structure of the website basically, but we can define more this in terms of the sections, in the terms of the details, with the help of AI, and we will be using Relume for this.
Okay, now let me tell you about a $10,000 mistake a friend of mine made when he launched his first startup. So as he was extremely busy building the startup and dealing with other stuff, he decided to hire a web designer and a developer to build the website. And a few months later, they launched the site, but no one bought the product, no one is interested, and it was very weird because he had already tested the market before, so he knew that the product was good, but it was just that the website wasn't converting. The website was the core issue. And you know why? Just because the web designer he worked with decided to design straight away and not build the site structure. Which means that even though the website and the design was looking good, it didn't convert because the flows were not optimized. People landed on the site and didn't have any idea on what was the product, who is it for, and they were just very confused. And you don't want that when building a website. This is the worst thing that can happen to you. That's when I actually realized that structure is kind of boring, I agree, but this is what converts. The prettiest page and the prettiest design in the world cannot convert if people doesn't understand clearly what is your product and who it's for in the first 5 seconds when landing on the site. So don't make the same mistake and don't skip the site structure. Now let's get back to the video tutorial.
So you might be thinking, what is Relume? If you don't know about that, it is a tool which helps you build website faster with AI. So let's use that. So let's create a new project. I'll rename it to Romely. Let's give a very detailed prompt. So I have finished writing the description. So you can basically see I started with what I want, what is the target audience, what is the brand personality, what is the goal, key messages, included in hero sections, stuff like that, and then what is the tone. Let's generate the sitemap first, because this is why we came here in Relume. So now it's done generating. Let's go over it. So it has given us the sitemap. Sitemap is something where you can see how each page will look like. So for home page, this is how Relume think we should structure the website. For about us page, for blog page, for contact page, and then if we create post under navbar, like under blog post, then we have this. Let's jump into wireframes. This is perfect. Like Relume have given us the complete structure of the website, and I wanted to keep it on free version because we just needed home page, like just one landing page. We can definitely generate about us page and other pages, but let's just focus on the home page. So we got our hero section, we got our feature section, and like what we can help, what makes us different, and things in action, so showcase our features. And then we have more features, so it's basically talking about that. Then we have some real stories around that, then a CTA, and then a footer. So that's how we are ending the website. But this is really a great structure. We can now take this, collect references, and build up the whole website. To collect references, you can go to bunch of websites. Let's say Awards is there, Dribble is there, Pinterest is there, but I most of the time find good references on both of them. And to define what you mean by references is definitely different. So for me, this is not the reference for me in terms of the website or hero section. For me, a reference looks like, let's say, so when I see this image, how do I define this as a reference? So for me, I like the layout that there is image and there's text here, and we have a sticker, small c sticker, and then you have a bottom text. So this is, for me, this reference is for the layout and for visual. So what kind of visual or style I want. So let's say I want to go in this kind of style. So I'll click this. So I combine different references to create a website. So that's how you do. And for me, this is how I collect references, that you take references, take something, let's say learn about layout, learn about typography for some, and then you combine them to create your own. Because if you just blindly copy a layout, it's not reference, you're just copying it. So for me, I have put together some of the references which I felt like looked cool to me. And now I'm going to use this when I design the website. So before you jump into designing the landing page straight, you should always have the brand guide ready, because this helps us understand the tone of copy we are going to use. And we have the logo, we have the rules we need to use, we have the colors, we have the typography. This is parameters which we use when we are designing a website. So when you want to create a landing page, it is literally blank. So it's not like this. It's mostly you have to start from here. But as we have collected references, we have a bunch of them. For now, I'm just focusing on just one. And then we have different sections. So we have navbar, we have hero section, we have feature section, and then we go one by one. It is much easier. So now you can start designing in Figma itself, or you can be a bit smart and use Framer pages. Why I say about that? Let's explore Framer. So when you create a new project in Framer, this is how it looks like. So you can start blank, or you can start with a template which is free. You can customize it. You can take the base for it. Let's say I like this hero section. I can use it without any issues. But we are going to use blank, like I want to create from scratch. So how do you do that? So you paste references which we have collected. For me, I'll just stick with this. And now we need to start by navigation. So we have pasted our reference. The best part is that I can use pre-made sections. So let's say I want to create the navigation. So I'll just click here. And there you go. You have navigation. And if you think this is like just a normal navigation, let me show you something. So let's say this is like, let's say 1440. When we add this navigation there. So we have navigation here, and if we want to make this a website, I just simply click create a web page. So I will just create extra version, I'll create tablet, I'll create phone version. But now let's go back to Figma to design and specify certain stuff, and then we can come back to Framer and develop it. So I bring the logo from there, and I just want to put it in the bottom. So I bring the logo from our brand book, and I want to use it in the center. Let's say I want to keep it something similar to this, but this is looking good because we have the menu option here, but I want to just keep this part here. And in terms of texture, it is like an image here, and we have text. But I want to change this. I want to change the structure because this is a SaaS product. So let's use some gradients maybe. So this is our brand color. And let's make something fun. So if I try to use this doesn't look the best, but this looks cool to me. Let's add some image. Now we can similarly like add text, let's say. So this is how you start, but it's something which takes time. So if you want to design a landing page, you have the structure, you have the whole references thing. Now you just want to create more version of it, and that's what we did. So we created a lot of versions of single screen, like let's say just the home screen. We came up with a lot of options. Some were too busy, and even went like changing the color so we can see the contrast. But of course it is not in our brand color, so we will not be using that. And we definitely designed everything separately. So product cards is the illustrations are there. And this is like from Relume for the structure of the website. Then we put it together to create the whole website. And this is how it looks like right now in Figma with all the auto layout there. We used Gemini to create our imagery. You can use AI too. Now it's time to like take this from here and build it on Framer. So there's two ways of doing this. Either you like create from scratch, or you can use this plugin, Figma to HTML with Framer. So that way you just copy single element, and then you can delete this one. And so let's paste it here. Of course it is not the best responsive, but we will make it. Let's upgrade the size first so it is matching, and we have some spacing on top. So we have spacing, so we have around 40 pixels of spacing. Now our design is looking like Figma, so we can start making it responsive. So we created fill, and then let's create a component where you can define this as desktop, phone version. And for phone, we don't need all of this because this will be a single pager. We just need these two guys. So it will be around 290, around that. So let's use this. We can create component to buttons. Why we need to create buttons? components because we want hover interaction. Let's say I want to fill this for with yellow. So this is like on hover, when you will go, it will look like this. So if we go back to our home page, to improve, like to fix this here, we can add a stack, and then let's get some padding. Easy fix, but there's a lot of ways of doing it. And when you are developing a site, there's bunch of stuff which comes into place in terms of developing it. So you copy those elements and bring it back to Figma, and thus things goes on. And if you spend a lot of time, you will end up here. So if you see, this is the complete design of the landing page. I have bought all the elements we saw in our design, and it is now interactive. So if I play, things are working. And if you see, notice this is not centered. There's a lot of issues. So when you are developing a website, there will be bugs, there will be a lot of issues, and that's how you're gonna fix it so it looks good. I can see like butchered images. Then we have this, which was working cool. And yeah, but if we take consideration that, okay, this was like just an hour build, like it took me 1 hour to build, but if you spend like more than 4 or 5 hours, or even like just a day, it will get a lot better. And I don't want to spend time more into refining the details right now. I can do it later. So you can always like create stuff, update them, and then you just have to publish it. And if you're wondering, your domain is not looking like this, and if you want to get something like this, you just have to like remove domain. Romley is not available, that's why we are using Romley V. So this way we create a responsive design. And now if we want to create, let's say we want to create a sign up page. So what we can do is like, so you have forms, and here you have a lot of options. So you can create from inbuilt framework, form builder, you can use loops, Git, MailChimp, waitlist, any of them. For now, let's try framework forms. It can send information to email, webhook, and Google Sheets. But let's say you want to make it much interesting and you want to use Kit, for example. So let's say if you want to use Kit, this is how it looks like. So you click and you have to subscribe it. We can literally copy this. But for now, like we can definitely figure that part out by adding the API key. And how you find the API key, you go to Kit or any platform you are using, and then go to settings, go to developer, API, and you will find them most of the time. Like, as I said, we can set up this anytime, but the most important part is going through settings and then having all this updated. So we don't want the framer logo when people search on our website, or we don't want no social preview. And again, same things. So these are important. These are the SEO things we need to do. So for title, we will have this, and for description, we'll have this. Now it is looking much more professional. And for the OG image is like this one, which is called social preview also, or OG image. And this is a fab icon. So let's create this directly in Figma. So let's create this. We'll reduce the yellow. Let's go to home page. Copy this text. You can like definitely do better job at this by spending some time, but for now I just want to save some time and show you how it's done, and then we can refine things. We can have something like this. We can have something better, but let's stick to this. We will export it from here. So you can export it if you're using Framer app. So let's export this. So we have now exported the image. Let's drop the image. This is how it will look like when we now upload our links to the web. And let's update the fab icon the same way. If you remember, we have just the R symbol. So let's use this. You can pick dark and light themes, so we definitely need to do that right now. So now you can see we have both options for dark and light theme. You can also upload for touch icon. This is how it looks like. We can definitely do a better job than this, but for now this is good. We definitely have analytics, but to be just on the safer side, we should have our Google Analytics. You can copy this from Google dashboard. In terms of SEO optimization, you can just go start the basics from like general settings, and even if you don't do it for other pages, it will automatically copy that. And even if I don't drop a social preview, it will take this as default, so it's totally fine. And you can have different previews, different different titles, headings for all of them. So if you want to add a custom domain in a website, you need to upgrade your account from free. Right now it's free. As you can see, you need to go from free to pro. And once you do that, you can remove framer.website and you can just get a .com domain or whatever suits the best. But for now, we are sticking with free. So now the final check, you should definitely check how the interaction is working. So if I check the website right now, it is working good. So the interactions are there. We have some interactions. You can check all the links. You can update them. I feel like I have missed to update them. Links are missing. So these are the final checks you should always do. And once this is done, you are good to go. You can start driving traffic.
Alright, our waiting list landing page is now finished and completely live. And the waiting list matters so much because it's proof. When you walk into an investor meeting and say, we already have 1,000 people on the waiting list, that changes the conversation right away. Because you're not asking them to believe in your idea, you show them that people are actually waiting for the product to be released. So if you are building a startup, don't wait until you have the perfect product to start collecting emails. Build a simple waiting list page just like we've done in this video, share it and start testing the demand today. Now next week we are putting everything together and we are building the pitch deck for the investors. We'll show you the entire process, how to structure the narrative, how to design the slides, which tools to use, everything. If you want to grab the landing page toolkit, which includes all the templates, the prompts, the tools we used in this video, just click on the first link in the video description. And if you want help, not just building your waiting list page, but your complete product, then book a call with me using the second link in the video description. Alright, thank you for watching and see you next week for the investor pitch deck.